Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it to Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky St. Patty's Day Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page, go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Come on, baby, what's wrong with you? With you, not with you. With you. What's wrong with you? I'm kidding. Listen, go to wherever you get your apps from. And it doesn't matter whether it's iTunes, or Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zare, Semsky, Macy, Montgomery World, Woolworth, Weebles, Goldblatts. It doesn't matter. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. Take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you watch this on a Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your television. Just like that. Put us right there next to the big boys. Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, Prime, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Paramount Stars. Oh, yes. Episode 2 of Power Book 4, Season 4 is streaming now on Stars. But I digress. Put us there and you watch us on a big screen. Hell, we're on a big screen. Mickey, Vicky, now. Now, you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Man, we got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it, just bring it. Man, let's see who's in the chat already. Black Diamond getting in early this morning. He's like, yo, top of the morning, gang. Black Diamond, how you doing, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. Cornelius Squalls, what up? What up? What up? What up, sports owners? He writes, Cornelius in the house. Levette Lee. Happy Friday, y'all. Good morning, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Sean Wall says a Mickey, Ficky, TGIF peeps. Yes, baby. Yes. Rick Gonzalez, what's up? Good morning, Sean, and to everyone in the chat. And the bear the F down. Bear the fuck down, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Listen, I don't know a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. That I can promise you. So you hear me? My voice is a little hoarse. It was I was just fighting something. Fighting a little cold, some shit. You know, you cough. You know when you cough and your whole body aches, your torso, your chest cavity, all that shit hurts. Yeah, that was happening the last couple of days. I know it didn't help matters any yesterday because we were out. So my buddy texted me yesterday, and we were out smoking cigars and had a couple drinks last night at this private club he's a member of. So it was early. You know, I was home by 10:15. But my voice was a little raspy, as you can hear. So I'm drinking my little mushroom coffee with a little honey in there. So we're going to get through this. Oh, snap. My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr., he's in the house. Junior, what's up, Papa? How are you? Thank you, buddy, for tuning in. I appreciate you. We got a good show at 10 o'clock. Alex Shapiro from Chicago Sports Network is going to join us and talk all things Bears with us. We have a lot to talk, all things Bears. A lot. I'm going to get his perspective. And, yeah. You know, he was formerly of NBC Sports Chicago. He made a move over to the new station, Chicago Sports Net. He's also one of the hosts of the Charter franchise. The Charter the Charter podcast. The Charter podcast being about the Charter franchise, which is the Chicago Bears. He's also one of the co-hosts of that. So we have a lot to talk to him about. Big shout out to Glenn Morgan. He and I had lunch yesterday. I told you, baby, I don't just talk it. I don't sing it. I bring it. All right. Even in my little kind of sick state, we met up at this little spot in Bridgeport, little Italian spot. Man, he loved it. It was awesome. Great just to catch up with Glenn. And like I told you, let your loved ones know you love them. All right. I don't just talk the talk. I walk the walk. Next week I gotta have lunch with my cousin or dinner with my cousin. It's mine. I gotta pay for it because I postponed it 2 weeks in a row. So I gotta take my cousin out for dinner. I haven't seen her in a while. So yeah. So make sure you do that. All right. I know we talk sports and it's all about, but we do have real lives. And you know, one of the things I do want to make sure is that we're doing good stuff in our real life. All right, and one of the things we do, as adults, unfortunately, is we let life get in the way. All right, and we don't keep the main thing, and that's our loved ones. All right, we often, weeks, months, years go by. You know what? That just reminds me. Let me write this down. I got to call my guy Manny. Call Manny. I'm gonna text him. We can meet up for brunch. Another one of my guys. You know what I mean? So. It's what makes life go around. We all have friends, family, loved ones that we care about that we don't see. Let's reach out. I know the phone works both ways, but someone's got to make the call. Let's be the bigger person. Not even bigger person. Let's be the person who does it. Okay. So, but 10 o'clock, my man Alex Shapiro from Chicago Sports Net's going to join us talking Bears, and I'm fired up about it. I got a couple questions I want to ask him, and it's interesting. It's interesting. So I'm listening to the radio this morning, coming back from CrossFit. And how can I put this? Well, one of the guys on the radio was talking, and he was asking the questions about the contract for one of the Bears free agents, Dio. He got a $43 million, or how much was it? We can look at it. Yeah, he got $32 million guaranteed. Okay. But he only had the most sacks he's ever had in a year was 8 in his 4-year career. And so he asked Ryan Poles about why, it's the numbers don't line up, or why'd you give him such a big signing bonus, a contract and guaranteed money to a guy who doesn't have a lot of sacks, double-digit sacks. And it was interesting because Ryan Poles kind of checked him. It was funny. And the host of the show this morning said the same thing after they said that. Because Ryan Poles said, well, if you look at the tape, he does more than just get sacks. He's very disruptive. And this is the one thing that I wanted to tell you guys about is like, don't just look at the numbers. Don't be that dude. Don't be that guy. Okay? Don't look at just the numbers. So, because as an edge rusher, you're like, okay, well, how many sacks does he have? That's not all an edge rusher does. That's not all an edge rusher does to affect the game. And then he asked Dio yesterday. He asked him about that. And Dio said the same thing. He's like, well, that's not all we do. I don't just rush the passer. He goes, that's not. He goes, of course I want more sacks. He said, but there's other things I can do to disrupt the game. A quarterback hits, is making a quarterback move off a spot. Basically all the things I've been telling you what this guy should be doing for us. Then they had on Brian Baldinger. And they asked Brian the same thing, and Brian said the same thing. He said, well, no, yeah, it's not just sacks. You want sacks, but there's other things you can do. And this is where I want to educate you. I want you guys to understand that don't just be one of those guys, well, he had X amount of sacks, because that don't mean shit. That don't mean shit. Okay? And here's why. Our old Uncle Hawk Harrelson used to tell us this. When people talked about home run numbers, he said, don't tell me how many you hit. Tell me when you hit them. Because if the Bears are down 21, game over, and you get a sack, how important is that? How meaningful was that sack? Yes, it is still a sack. It helps in the flow of the game, but you're down. Where were you earlier when they needed you, when the quarterback was throwing for touchdown passes, and you couldn't get a sack then? See, this is where people who aren't familiar with the game allow people with a lot of media to influence you and move you. Okay? Don't be one of those people. That's why people like me who know the game, I want to help educate you. Because when someone says, well, he had only X amount of sacks, the thing we got to look at is how many pressures, how many hits. And Dio yesterday, in response to the question, he goes, what if I have a hit that leads to an interception? He goes, I don't get a sack, but it's an interception. What if it's a pick six? That hit led to a touchdown, but it doesn't show up in the stats. So there's more things you have to look at than just sacks. Look at pressures and look at quarterback hits. Those are things you need to look at as well. And all three people, Ryan Poles, Dio himself, and Brian Baldinger, told this guy basically in a nice way, you don't really know football. It was funny. Because that's my first thought. I'm like, why would you, there's more than just sacks. And this guy's he's a really cool, he's been cool with me. Every time I see him in the press box, I just thought it was funny. That was very funny. Luis Mejia checking in. What's up? He said, good morning, y'all. It's Rise and Grind Friday. Yes, it is, doctor. Yes, it is. That workout, CrossFit workout today. Remember, if you don't follow me on Facebook, make sure you follow me on Facebook or Instagram. I go live. I have a little thing after my workouts, 4 days a week, sometimes 5. And I go out 5 days. And today's workout was a beast. There was no way on God's green earth I was finishing it. Put it this way, we had a 20-minute cap. And Tyson Bagent, remember, Tyson Bagent is a CrossFitter. His dad owns a CrossFit gym. And every year they have the CrossFit Open. And it's three consecutive Fridays. 21.1 the year, so it's 25. So 25.1, 25.2 was last week, and 25.3 was this week, the final one of this year. And so they announced the workout on Thursday night. Well, Tyson Bagent announced it at his dad's CrossFit gym. So again, remember, everyone knows, CrossFit knows that Tyson Bagent, pro football player, is a CrossFitter, and his dad owns a CrossFit gym. So they had him announce the workout. He did the workout. He finished it in 18 minutes. You only had a 20-minute cap. So I'm sitting there thinking, holy shit. If I got a professional athlete who trains like this for football, hang cleans and snatches and deadlifts and all these other things, if it takes him 18 minutes, there's no way in hell a 53-year-old man who's not in bad shape is going to be able to get through this shit. Sure enough, I didn't get through it. I got a lot further than I thought, but that was crazy. It was nuts. But I digress. Luis, it's been a minute, bro. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. I almost smoked that cigar yesterday from the one from Puerto Rico you got me. I just didn't have enough time. We were watching. It was great. Yesterday was like one of the most adult days I've had in a long time. At lunch, I stopped to get some stuff to help moms. And then I met up with some people at a private club, and they have a cigar room in the back. We were watching that, and then a buddy of mine, his son plays for Brother Rice. I don't hold that against them. And they're in the Final Four for high school boys basketball. So that game was on WCIU. So we were watching it in the cigar room. Then after that, the Bulls were on in the fourth quarter. We turned that on. After that, the Hawks started. We were just smoking cigars, had a little drinky drink, just had 2 drinks, nothing too crazy. Guys ordered pizza. It was just really, really, really chill. And we were out of there at 9:30, right as the Hawks game started. So it was a good day. It was a good day. But as I said, 10 o'clock, I'm excited for Alex Shapiro to come on, talk some Bears with us. But Shawn, no burpees. Thank God. They had wall walks, which are tough. Wall walks are you lay on the ground, your feet at the base of the wall and your stomach, and then you kind of bend at the waist and kick your feet up on the walls and walk your feet up the walls, and then you have to push back so your stomach, or your front of your body, is flush against the wall. That's a wall walk. So you're upended like this. Ground is here. So we had 5 wall walks, and then 50 calories on the row machine, 5 wall walks. We had to do some deadlifts, 5 wall walks, hand cleans, 5 wall walks, snatches, 5 wall walks, 50 calories on the row. So crazy, crazy, crazy workout this morning. But it was good. I was sweating like a sweater, man. I'm telling you. Woo. Oh, my goodness. Jay Grizz checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Good to see you, baby. Good to see you. But, yeah, so I'm fired up. I'm fired up to talk baseball, talk basketball. Our Bulls with a big win yesterday. Dude, they're on fire, man. They are excited. I think I'm going to go to another game before the season's out. Rick says, I'm getting tired just hearing your workout. Hey, listen, I tell you what. I got to fight this aging process every single day, Papa. Every single day. Just attack it. That's all I'm doing. This is so. And it's a release. It's a stress relief because apparently in society, punching stupid people is frowned upon. Who'd have thunk? Who'd have thunk it? Punching stupid people is frowned upon in society. You're right, Junior. Bulla. He meant the Bulls. The Bulls are doing good and no one can watch. Oh, no, dude, don't do that. You're gonna make me cough again. Well, mine didn't hurt that much either. But that's funny. No one can watch because Comcast doesn't have CHSN. Luckily, I have it because I have AT&T Uverse. But that's hilarious. But you're on point with that one, man. On point. So, let's get it crack-a-lacking, baby, guys. You know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
First top of the morning topic. Let's see, which way do we go? Where do we start? We'll start here with the good guys. The good guys. My White Sox had a rough one yesterday. They fall to the Brew Crew at Camelback Ranch. The White Sox lose to the Brewers 9-3. Leisure got the start. No decision. It was a bullpen day, really. He went 1 inning, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 punch out. Mitchell was 1 for 3 with a homer, his first of the spring, driving in his 3rd RBI of the season. Corey Lee was 2 for 3 with a double, his 3rd of the spring, driving in his 5th RBI of the season. And Miguel Vargas was 2 for 3, driving in his 4th RBI of the spring. Keeping it going with the White Sox today, the White Sox host the Reds at Camelback Ranch. First pitch is at 3:05 Central. Can't watch it, but you can listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. Keeping it moving, baby. Keeping it moving. Next top of the morning topic, the Cubs. The Cubs have an exhibition game today. All right, against the Japanese team, Hanshin. Maybe that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. First pitch is at 10 o'clock tonight, 10 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. So you get to watch that game tonight. You get to watch the Cubs game in the morning on Tuesday when they actually play. But you got to get up at 5 in the morning to catch the Cubs on Tuesday. But I digress. Next top of the morning topic, let's get it cracking. This game was awesome last night. This game was awesome. The Bulls, baby. Only the Bulls. Only the Bulls. The Bulls beat the New Jersey Nets. I'm sorry. That's how old I am. The Brooklyn Nets representing BK to the fullest. Beat the Brooklyn Nets 116-110. Kobe White, 31.7 rebounds. Kevin Huerter. Don't hurt him, Huerter. 18 points, 9 boards. Trey Jones, who is really growing in my eyes. He's growing. I'm becoming more and more of a fan of his as the games go on. He had 18 points, 7 rebounds. Julian Phillips, youngster, 16 points, 7 assists. I really like what these guys are doing. I love the pace which with they play. Miss a three-pointer, who cares? Get back and play defense. Next top of the morning topic, stay with the Bulls. Tomorrow the Bulls travel to H-Town to face the Rockets. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on CHSN or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. Score. The Bears introduced more of their players at Hallis Hall yesterday, and I'll tell you what, it wasn't as exciting. Wasn't as exciting as the previous day, but it was good to hear. It was good to hear. You know, the previous day they had Grady Jarrett. All right. And you know what? I will say that. Drew Dahlman spoke as well. Let's listen to that. Let's check out Drew Dahlman at his introductory presser.
Probably primarily focus on what was attractive about here. But I think the things that are most important to me with football, about the culture that I'm playing in, the people I'm playing next to, kind of the vision for the team as a whole, all those things were top of mind for me as far as finding the next home. And all that stuff was assured to me and made me aware of in the process. So that was awesome and gave me a lot of confidence in the decision and made this place really appealing. And on top of that, you know, the Bears are a historic team. It's an awesome town, and so something that I think everybody wants to be a part of. So it's made the whole thing really, really enticing for me.
That could have courtesy of the Chicago Bears. That's Drew Dahlman, center. That was a huge, huge acquisition. And the Bears' offensive line, like anything, when you're soft up the middle, in any sport, you're not good. You won't be good. Defensively, that's kind of you're defending against attackers, against your quarterback in the pass pro. But on the defensive side of the ball, if you don't have a strong nose, people run up the middle. In baseball, if you don't have a strong middle infield or a strong center fielder, you're not going to be a good team. It's just the way it is. People can literally go shove the ball right down your throat. So it's a Rashawn Wall says Bulls have a no tanking sign in the locker room. Yeah, they do. Bishop, Keith Harris in the house. What's up, Papa? How are you? I was doing my Keith Harris impression yesterday. We're smoking some stogies at my buddy's private club. Jay Grizz, go Cubs, we coming. Rick, I agree. That should come soon. Rick says, I hope to hear an extension for Tooney soon. You know, you talk about this guy as a leader, as a culture changer. You're excited for what he brings. He brings 4 Super Bowl rings, couple of All-Pros, couple of Pro Bowls. And he's in the last year of his deal. So if this is the type of guy that you want, then extend him. Otherwise, don't blow all the smoke up his ass and feed that shit to us and say he's this, and we're not going to sign him. Get an extension done. Give him a 2-year extension. Listen, you can be a good offensive lineman until you're 33, 34, maybe 35. He's only 32, 33, 34, and they're good. And in his last year, or in his second last year, so next year we draft, or maybe this year, you draft a good, maybe not fully ready, but a really good offensive guard. Have him sit there and watch JonahJackson. Have him watch Joe Tooney. How they go about their business. The little nuances of playing guard. And in the second year, the year before the end of Tooney's contract, now this guy can step in. Our girl Patty Lara's in the house. She says, what up, what up, what up? Patty says, happy Mickey Ficky TGI Friday to all. Oh, all right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. And the other side of the break, we're going to finish. We're going to talk a little Bulls basketball. But before we go to break, I do want to say this. Hope she's watching. I want to say happy birthday to my niece Monica Jr. and Patty's daughter. She's 22. Just want to say happy birthday, mija. I love you. I'll stop by soon. I'm going to go grab a bite. Just I promise. Me, you, Jeremiah. Go grab a bite. All right? Happy birthday, mija. Like I said, I love you dearly. Have a phenomenal day and a phenomenal weekend. 22 years old. Holy cow. That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh, snap. King Booker World checking in. I told you usual suspects are checking in. I told you. I done did told you. Keith Bishop says, SuperBack, I'm good, brother. Excited about the moves on the O-line. Yes, we're going to talk about those. We'll continue talking about those. Okay, and then we'll have Alex Shapiro as well at 10 o'clock. We're going to talk about those, but we're going to do that on the other side of the break. All right, on the other side of the break. So listen, don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. I got to get the warden off the CrossFit. Keep it locked right here, Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Making his second start. White dives in, working on Zaire Williams. Tough shot. Down to go. And he's there for the defense. He knocked it free. Buzelis will get to it. Gives it to Hurd.
Nice. Man, good hustle by Kobe White. These guys will be game ready.
Phillips to Williams. Attacks. Steps. Nice move. And the finish.
Good move.
White curling into the paint, took some contact, got it to Herter somehow through all that traffic. He hits the three. It's to Williams. Bulls shoot for the lead. It's Williams. Stumbling, shooting and scoring. Yeah, he looked like he was lining up a three. Speaking of which, James the young man. Anything you can do?
I can do better. Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Chicago Sports Network. Those were the Bullies, baby. Good game yesterday. I tell you, I love the pace with which they move. They're up and down the court. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it a lot. Man, great stuff by the Bullies. Right? They just refuse to tank. And you got to respect that. Right? You got to respect it. You have to respect it. And, you know, watching the game last night, you know, you see these guys, even though they were down, there's a come from behind win. One of the things that I saw, which I love, there's no quit. They don't get down. They're not nervous. All right. They're comfortable. And I love it because, and I'm not saying they're comfortable being behind or they like being behind. No. But they understand it's part of the game, the ebbs and flows of the game. They're comfortable. They're more than okay with being behind because that's how the NBA works. Some days the other team is going to be hot and hit everything. They're going to get all the shots, all the calls. But you got to stay around. You got to do the little things. All right, remember, take care of the little things. There are no big things. And that's what you got to do. All right, if your shot's not falling, drive to the hole. All right, continue to box out. Do not skimp on the fundamentals when things aren't going your way. That's when you lean into the fundamentals. That's when you lean into the fundamentals to keep you close. All right, the Bulls, 24 assists on 41 made field goals. Over half their field goals were assisted on. That's good ball movement. That's really good ball movement. You saw Kobe with the steal or knocked the ball loose. Modest got it up on the left sideline. Got it to Zach Collins, who's running the floor. Gave it to him last second. Easy layup. Uncontested. Assist. These youngsters are getting out and running. Kobe White starts it. Matas, 6'10", is finishing it. Zach Collins, 6'10", is finishing it. 7 feet now, Zach Collins. I mean, he's probably 7 feet. The energy with which these youngsters are playing is refreshing. Honestly, who can watch the games to the CHSN blackout? Who isn't excited about watching these youngsters play? Remember I told you they might not be good, but they're going to be exciting? Well, they're exciting as hell, and they're starting to get good. Fun to watch. They're fun to watch. Stacy makes it fun to watch. His plethora of nicknames for damn near every single player on the squad. I love it. And there was an electricity in the air yesterday, and I felt it at the cigar at the lounge, cigar lounge, at that private club. I felt it just watching it on TV. I felt the energy. These youngsters really like playing basketball together. Billy, you're damn right. Bang, bang, bang. Billy's done a great job. And I know some of you, I know King Booker was not a big fan of his, but he coaches young players very well. Now, can they develop under Billy? Because say what you want, Kobe White's developed under Billy. Before he got hurt, was developed under Billy. We see Julian Phillips developing under Billy. We've seen Dalen Terry develop under Billy. We just haven't seen P. Won't develop under Billy. We just haven't seen that. 4 to 5 ain't bad. 4 to 5 ain't bad. They play with a level of resilience, of energy. I got to turn off their phone in the studio. Bastard. They play with a lot, and this is reminiscent of their coach. Billy doesn't get frustrated on the sidelines very often. All right, he's calm, cool, collected. And the leaders. I think it's good to say Kobe White's a leader. Josh Giddey's a leader. When he comes back, and luckily it's not as bad as they thought it was initially. So he should be back soon. We need one more mid-20s to maybe late 20s veteran who everyone knows is a leader on that team. That's what we need. That's what we need. But other than that, I like it. I think Io's a leader as well. He's a quiet leader. So you have some guys. Don't forget, Io was under the tutelage of DeMar. And DeMar was definitely one of our leaders when he was here. And you see Io kind of stepping into that role. You see Kobe White stepping into that role. Too bad Josh Giddey couldn't have been here with those other guys. Because you see it on a night in and night out basis. You're seeing defense from, well, we've seen defense from Modest all the time, but Zach Collins, I told you, that's Vooch 2.0. That's Vooch. That's Orlando Vooch in his prime. A more athletic Vooch in his prime is Zach Collins. Runs the court, hits you with the 3-ball, bang it down low, protect the rim. Vooch never protected the rim. Can pass. They have a nice little core here. They have a really nice core here. And Billy's got to extract more out of them. Right? I love the development of Dalen Terry. I just don't know what the hell to do with P. Won't. Like I said before, maybe just leave him as a 6th man. Come off the bench. Maybe that. All right, there's no way they're going to get in the Cooper flag sweepstakes. They keep winning. They're in the 10th spot. They're going to be in the play-in, which is fine. I would like them to be in the lottery, but because I would like them to get one more generational or one more impactful player. Give me an impactful player. That's what we need. We need more impactful players. And I'll tell you what. We have some that are budding. You have some budding impactful players. Kevin Huerter. He's going to be a problem. As he's starting to become a problem for people. He's getting settled here with this team, with these teammates in this system. He's going to be a Mickey-Ficky problem from beyond the arc. Kobe White, same thing. And the thing I love about Kobe White, he's so quick. He'll pull up. He'll give you the eyebrow fake, according to Stacy. and then drive right by it. He's so quick. Ayo, so quick to the hole. So we have guys developing. But we just don't have that star, that bam, everything, you know what I mean? And maybe Matas can be that in a couple of seasons, and that's fine. I hope so. Like I said, I don't even care about Matas this year. I don't care about him in the 25-26 season. I want to see Matas in the 26-27 season, because then he'll only be, 21 to 22 years old? But he will have 2 off seasons of a weight room. 2 off seasons of living in the weight room. And that is what I want to see. Look what it did for Giannis in Milwaukee. And now Giannis isn't a big, burling muscle builder dude, but you can tell he's been in the weight room. He's filled out. He's filled out. And you put that type of muscle mass on Matas, Matas could be the centerpiece of this team. Kendall Gill said it best. He goes, people want Cooper Flag. He goes, we have our Cooper Flag. And some people found it disrespectful. I'm like, no, it's not. Cooper Flag is doing this against college kids. Matas is doing this against NBA players, future Hall of Famers, All-Stars, All-NBA team. He's doing it against those guys. So don't project to me what Cooper Flag could do. Let's be happy and appreciative of what we're watching Matas do night in and night out. And realize this is a special cat. This is a special mug. I mean, I'm telling you, we've seen it. We watch it. He passes the eye test. I just need him to get in the weight room, give me 2 off seasons. So give me 26, 27 off season, and this summer gun, ooh, Charlie. It's going to be a real Mickey Ficky problem. He's going to be the dude that everybody has to stop. And then you still have Kobe. Don't forget, you still have Josh Giddey. You might be making 25 mil, 30 mil a season. Who knows? You're still going to have Herter. Probably Zach Collins still. I don't know how long his contract is. You're still going to have a good group of this young core to continue to grow and develop together. Dylan Terry should take another step forward. Julian Phillips should take another step forward. If they continue to do that, this team's going to be good. I don't think they'll be NBA title contending good, but they'll be good. Like I said, they're missing that one superstar, and that superstar could be Matas. And he might not develop until... Listen, if Matas hits his prime at 24, usually it's like 26-ish, he will have been in the league 5 years. That's a long time to kind of get your feet wet, get the lay of the land, understand your opponents, know their strengths and weaknesses, know your own strengths and weaknesses against various opponents, and really, really take off. The kid's humble. The kid is not afraid of hard work. And he could be that dude. He could be the centerpiece, the star of this franchise. We will see. We'll see how it plays out. But if I was a betting man, I would put he's going to be the biggest star on this team. Of everyone on this team currently, as the team is currently constructed, he will be the biggest star on this team. And no disrespect to anyone else. Josh Giddey, Mr. I flirt with a triple-double every night. Zach Collins, I run up and down the floor, hit a 3, bang it down low, block shots, rebound, pass, facilitate. No disrespect to them at all. But Matas has that it factor. And there's a lot more shooting now. When Ayo gets back, he's done for the season. But next season, I mean, Kobe White's still going to be chucking up threes, hitting them. Josh Giddey's going to be chucking up threes, hitting them. Kevin Huerter's going to be chucking up threes, hitting them. Now you got three good three-point shooters. Don't forget, Montes will hit you with a three as well. Zach Collins as well. So you have guys who can hit the three. So you want to go inside out, give it to Zach Collins down low, set some picks up top, get a guy coming off a screen, boom. He says the Bulls need a coach that can get the young talent developed and the next level. You might have that dude. You might have that dude. Like I said, Kobe White has developed under him. Ayo Dosunmu has developed under him. Julian Phillips has developed under him. Dalen Terry has developed under him. Only dude who hasn't developed is P. Won't. That's it. It's the only dude. Josh Giddey, from when he got here to where he's at now, has developed. You know what I mean? So he might be. Now, I don't know. He might get him to the next level. I don't know if he can get him to the championship level. There's going to be a level, maybe two in there from where they're at now to the championship level. There's probably a level in there that Billy can get him to. Like maybe Eastern Conference Final Billy can get him to. I don't know about NBA title level. You may have to reconsider Billy as a coach once you get to the NBA or the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think Billy can take him there. I think Billy can take him there because they're playing much better defense. And even if they're not individually good defenders, they understand team defense. And you see a lot more people with hands in the passing lane, clogging passing lanes up, good switches. You see guys bumping guys trying to go through the lane, trying to cut free. They're doing a lot of little things. Good box outs. I see. You know what I do see a lot? Watch the next time you watch a Bulls game. Again, if you get to CHSN. Watch how many times the ball hits the floor after a shot because people are boxing out. I see at least twice a game. At least. You're a fool, Luis. Because I can do some good bumping. Lucio! I see what you're talking about. Rise and grind, huh? Jay Grizz, you know what? I'll do that on the way home. I have to pick up the warden from CrossFit. You know, you said go to Starbucks, get your medicine ball, citrus peppermint tea with agave and or honey. Okay, appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. It's just fun watching this young team. I love it. I love it a lot. Cubsters, the Cubsters, Cub fans, you guys are excited. You got an exhibition game today out there against one of the Japanese teams. I think that's dope. Not just out there sightseeing. You're getting ready for your games on Tuesday and Wednesday against the Dodgers. I thought it was pretty cool. The things that, they obviously have some plan for them. If you saw the other day, Shota Imanaga and Craig Counsell. We're in the presser and they're breaking something with a mallet or something like that. And then Shota was kind of imitating his Craig Counsell's former batting stance. Yeah, it was cool. It was good stuff. I think it's a good just measuring stick early in the season, way too early in the season, but nonetheless, it's a good chance for you to see if at this stage, if your team is able to handle all of the pomp and circumstances going on, because obviously you're doing sightseeing, there's probably a lot of interviews, then you still have games to play. You still have games to play. So is that going to affect you? I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Kyle Tucker, are you ready to take off? Because you had one home run so far this spring. Not the start that Cubs fans would have wanted. They would have wanted a couple of more homers, a couple more doubles, a couple more ribbies. Dansby Swanson, is this going to be a good Dansby Swanson year for you or not? It's going to be you just taking money. So what's it going to be? So there's a lot. And then Matt Shaw, he's a very hot topic. Very hot topic because this is your everyday third baseman now. He's a rookie. You're trying to get Bregman. You didn't get him. So now you're just going to go with Matt Shaw. Okay, is he ready? He already had an oblique strain. Is he going to be able to hold up for the season? He's already going in on watched minutes. And let's get to the bullpen. I mean, the rotation. I mean, yeah, you got Shota, Jameson Tyone. You got a couple. I'm okay with your rotation. Cub fans, are you not okay with it? I mean, I'm not putting it the best in baseball, but it's far from being. They're far from being busters. That's for sure. You got a nice solid rotation. So it all's going to fall down on the bullpen. How are they going to hold up in situations throughout the year? Can we get key hits? I don't know. They're going to find out. You're going to find out starting today. If you want to watch them tonight at 10 o'clock on a marquee network. And then on Tuesday, if you want to get up at 5 to watch your Cubs on Tuesday. Black Diamond says, I think we need one more elite arm for rotation in the bullpen. I think you do as well. But the rotation of the bullpen is no slouch. But I see what you're saying. To get yourself in the upper echelon of rotation of bullpens, of pitching staffs, yeah. I agree. Plankster checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? He says, good morning, Patty. Bear down. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to be joined by Alex Shapiro from Chicago Sports Network. Talk a little Bears. I'm a little fired up about it. Got a lot of questions I want to ask him regarding our new additions. All right, so don't go anywhere, folks. On the other side of the break, Alex Shapiro with your boy, the SuperBack, right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
And but you know what? It come with the game. You know, as long as if you play as long as I have, you know, and you want to keep playing. I mean, that time, you know, is inevitable almost. But you know, my best days are still ahead of me, and you know, I just kind of took it how it come, and you know, through faith, you know, just trusting that something will come along. I think the perfect match came along when I had the opportunity to join this team, being a part of something that is going to start here special. Me being somebody who wants to be in a position to compete for championships, encourage the younger guys around me, and just really share my experience and my hunger for greatness to others who want to achieve it. I'm in a special place and a special time and a special moment where I'm supposed to be.
Big words. Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That was Grady Jarrett, that monster of a 3-tech. Well, those clips are courtesy of the Chicago Bears, and that was Grady Jarrett. I'm fired up about this guy. Told you, he reminds me, my comp for him was a John Randall. He just nonstop motor, short, squatty, powerful, quick, explosive, violent, just without the face paint. That's all. Just without the face paint that Jonathan Randall so famously wore. And the thing that I really liked, one of the things I liked about him when talking about sharing his experiences, basically getting other guys to say, hey, let's start to believe that we can be great. He's going to do that by example, and he's going to be a vocal leader. And those are great. That's a great combination to have in a leader, is someone who leads by example, but's also vocal about it. The back and forth with Jordan Love, we told him to pipe down. Pipe down, little B, he called him. I loved it. And he also said in the presser, like, you got to go to a dark place when you play this game. And that gave me goosebumps when he said that, because I understand it. Some people don't understand it. You understand it, and you become a different person when you play this game. And he talks shit, and it works for him. So let's find out our next guest, or my guest today, find out what he thinks about him in addition to the other acquisitions. Guys, he's a good friend of the program. Good to have him back on. He's with Chicago Sports Net, also host of the Charter, co-host of the Charter podcast. You can find him on Twitter at Alex Shapiro, CHSN. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Alex Shapiro. Alex, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Shawn, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, buddy.
Good to have you, Papa. Really good to have you and talk some Bears with you, man. I'm fired up about this. I'm getting more and more excited as the season draws closer. Give me your thoughts on the Grady Jarrett acquisition, okay, in addition to the other acquisitions. But give me Grady Jarrett first. We'll start with him.
I mean, Grady Jarrett, to me, is the type of player the Bears need both on and off the field. You know, there was so much focus placed on edge rusher, but I think it was very clear that the Bears needed help on the interior as well. Gervon Dexter took a step in year 2, and Andrew Billings is a great player, but coming back from the pec, you know, you got to see what he's at coming off the pec injury. Chris Williams had some nice moments towards the end of the year. Zach Pickens, though, did not take that step. So, you know, you look at that interior group, thought there were going to be additions there. Grady Jarrett just brings instant impact, brings that vocal leadership that you were talking about. And that's kind of the other part. So he's kind of what they needed on the field. I think he's the exact person that they needed in the locker room too. I mean, you played a little bit of that clip from the press conference, and that comes through your screen, but sitting there, you know, like 10 feet away from him, you could feel the presence. You could feel the hunger. And when guys are talking up there, there is a sense of feeling. You can get an idea when it's just lip service. Oh, I'm so hungry. Oh, this means so much to me. And then you can feel it when it's that level. And to me, those are the types of players that the Bears need as they reset their culture here, right? You know, they are trying to turn a page. They're trying to flip a script. They are trying to build something with Caleb Williams. And they needed a guy like that who not only talks the talk, but walks the walk. You know, that's another critical piece. Because, you know, I've heard that there are some guys who talk in that locker room or in past locker rooms who aren't necessarily there anymore, but didn't necessarily have the production to back it up, you know, and that rings a little bit hollow. Whereas Grady Jarrett, this guy's an unbelievable player. So when he's showing you, when he's doing everything it takes, when he is being that incredible example, and he even said it, I'm not going to ask anybody to do something that I wouldn't do myself. I wouldn't ask of myself. I wouldn't expect of myself. And I think that really came across. So the on the field, the off the field, Grady Jarrett just seemed like a wonderful addition to this football team.
In addition to that, he's got that edge. He plays with that edge. And that when you get around alpha males, like that's an alpha male. That's an alpha male. You know that, and there's no question. Everyone in that press room knows or knew or felt that's an alpha male, and that's what this team needs. They need some mother Hubbards out there, like, oh shit, like when you see him play and you watch him play, he reminds me of John Randall, explosive, violent, quick. And one thing is he gets skinny real quick for a guy so big and wide. He comes off, he gives you a punch, he turns those shoulders real quick, fast. It's like holy sheesh. And gets to the quarterback. I love what he's doing. I love how he's willing to share his experiences and demand the best of everyone else, because now Gervon Dexter, we talked about, he took a step. We saw some good things from him. Now we're probably going to see more, right? Because he's going to demand more from him. Zach Pickens, who didn't take that step, we're probably going to see more from him because he's going to push him. And that's what we need. You're exactly right. That's the kind of dude you want to need. And that's the kind of dude that those guys respect. That's the guy, and that's the most important thing. You can have an all-pro, you can have a stud with those numbers, but if he's not a guy you respect, it's kind of iffy how your performance is gonna be. But that's a dude who demands respect, and I love it because that's a badass dude on the defensive line. And now we got a leader on that defensive line who's gonna be the leader of that defense, I believe.
Totally. And it's not just the technique stuff. It's not just, hey, how are you hitting the bags? Hey, show me some footwork tips. Grady Jarrett is also an unbelievably durable guy, right? I mean, he missed some time with the ACL in 2013, but worked his ass off to get back and played all 17 games last season. And then before that, I'm pretty sure he only missed something like 2 or 3 games in his entire career before the ACL. So an unbelievably durable player. So it's not just the technique. It's not just the football. It's also the routine. It's the, how are you taking care of your body? What is the work you're doing, the amount of work you're doing, the nutrition, the rest, the rehab, all of that. It's a 100% package of what it takes to be a great player. And Gervon Dexter, Zach Pickens, these young guys can pick up those incredible habits, not just the incredible techniques, but the top tier habits that have led Grady Jarrett to have the long, productive career that he has enjoyed up to this point.
The game-wrecking career, because he's a game wrecker. He's a gamer. He's one dude, when you put on the film and you're about to play them next week, he's a guy you have to circle, say, okay, where's he at? Where's he at? He's that dude. And that's exactly what we need, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's talk about another addition. The center, Drew Dahlman. Your thoughts on him?
Very smart. So another guy who just seems really confident, really kind of ready for this moment. In other situations, other teams probably is not hitting the free agent market, right? The only reason I think he's available is because the Falcons cap situation, they had to really reset the decks after giving Kirk Cousins so much money. They had a real cap situation. So I think that's the only reason Dahlman was available. And I think, Ryan Poles said as much when he's like, yeah, this guy was at the very, very top of our list. I think that's for good reason, because Caleb Williams had a lot on his plate last year and sacked 68 times. It's not just the carousel of guys in front of him. So many guys switching positions, that takes some time. But Drew, and I asked him this yesterday about his relationship with Michael Penix in Atlanta, rookie quarterback, and how he can apply what he did with Michael in Chicago with Caleb. And it's basically like, there are some things that you simply cannot take off of a quarterback's plate. And I want those to be like the only things. As much as I can take off of his plate, that's what I want to do. Whether it's sliding protection, identifying mics, picking up on incoming blitzers, all of these things, these little checks that I can handle, I want to handle as much of that as I can so that Caleb has less to focus on and can, develop a little bit more smoothly. And Patrick Mahomes has even talked about that. His first few years, he's like, I think at one point he said, like, yeah, I didn't know what the hell I was looking at out there in terms of defensive progressions and things like that. Yeah, exactly. That stuff takes time. So Drew Dahlman, being a really smart dude and also being a very good blocker, it's a great combo. He's much bigger than Coleman Shelton. He's much heavier than, the guys that the Bears have lined up in front recently. Sam Mussafer, smaller dude. Coleman Shelton, smaller dude. So he brings the brains to the operation, but it's not just brains, right? Coleman Shelton was also a smart guy who knew what he was looking at and knew what he was doing. Not as heavy as Drew Dahlman, though, who's also an excellent run blocker.
Yeah.
Scheme that Ben Johnson likes to deploy. This zone scheme. Drew Dahlman, we know, will have success doing that. In pass pro, real solid. So again, these free agent, really strong offensive linemen don't come around very often. And the Bears had a rare opportunity, and they really took advantage with a guy who seems to have the physical and the mental makeup to be just a big upgrade for the team.
Guys, we're joined by Alex Shapiro from Chicago Sports Network talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. I agree with you, and that's the one thing it's imperative that because again, Caleb's going to be learning a new offense like he did last year, right? And the more things that you can take away from him, more responsibility you could take from him, because you're a veteran and have been through 4 years in the NFL, the much better it is for him. The less he has to focus on, and the less things he has to focus on, the better he can be at those things, because he doesn't have 37 things to focus on. And I love that about Dahlman. And when he said that, I'm like, thank you. That's exactly what I wanted. And I'm sure Kato was like, thank you. That's exactly what I wanted. A dude like that. And to me, that's huge because, and I said it before you came on, up the middle. When you talk about defense, and I know you're on offense, but defensively, you're defending attackers from Caleb. All right. If you're weak up the middle, it doesn't matter what sport you're in, you're not going to be good. You're not going to be good. We finally got a guy, and I'm excited about that. But let's talk about his two guys to either side of him. All right, JonahJackson, guy who's played in Detroit, familiar with Ben Johnson's scheme. Went to LA. They said, "Hey, let's move you out of position," which I really hate. He played center, didn't do well, got hurt. Talk to me about JonahJackson and his contribution to this Bears team this year.
Yeah, well, you mentioning the out of position at center, I think it's very telling that Ryan Poles essentially said the same thing. He said, they had him playing out of position at center. So it's clear that they view him as a guard. They've already confirmed he's going to play right guard. The majority of his career, he has played left guard, but his first couple starts in the NFL were at right guard, and his last start of last season was also at right guard. So he can do it, and he feels confident doing it. But this is, I think, another key difference from last season, where you had so many guys who were moving around center, guard, center, switching sides. And that versatility is great when you need a guy in a pinch, right? Joe Thuney helped the Chiefs a lot last season by being able to play left tackle in a pinch until he was exposed by Josh Sweat in the Super Bowl. But if you can have these guys focusing on one spot, you can have JonahJackson just playing right guard and not moving him between guard and center like they were doing with Ryan Bates last season, right? Last season, it's Ryan Bates playing guard, center, guard, moving back and forth as they try and find that combo. You got three guys that are in there, locked in those positions. I think that's great. But to drill in on JonahJackson specifically, he spoke about the injury and said, frankly, that the injury hampered him. So it was a freak thing. And then the center of it all was a thing. And then he also said, I had my best ball under Ben Johnson. And that was another thing that really came through. Not just JonahJackson, all three guys, even Grady Jarrett saying the passion from Ben Johnson came through, and I want to play for this guy. I think we're starting to see the Ben Johnson effect on this team with
real
these
recognizes
players.
real.
Exactly.
These
These players
awesome.
want to play for him. They want to play for him.
When's the last time you said that, dude? When was the last time we said that players want to come to Chicago and play for the Bears, for their head coach?
It's good, maybe 2019 when things were on the up and up.
Okay, yeah. When they were doing the swag.
Yeah, exactly. When they were swag surfing. But JonahJackson, again, returning to guard, where he's played. Switching sides is not easy. I'm not going to say you just flip a switch and now you're playing on the right side or the left side, but he's done it before. He's shown he can do it. And if he can stay healthy, this is the key. Drew Dahlman, Grady Jarrett, Dayo Dangbo, these guys are pretty durable. And I know Drew Dahlman missed a bunch of time last season, but that was kind of a blip or an aberration over his career as a whole. JonahJackson has missed some more time consistently. So the Bears are going to need more guys. This is where Ryan Bates is still on this team. He's going to be an important depth guy as a guy who can play center, guard, center. That's where I want the versatility. I want the versatility in my backups, so that, okay, I know I can plug you in at center if Dahlman goes down, or I can plug you in at guard if JonahJackson goes down. That's where that's helpful. So Ryan Bates is going to be important from a depth standpoint. And they might need it. So hopefully JonahJackson stays healthy. Nobody ever wants to see guys get hurt. But if he can stay healthy, I think we can expect a return to form, I guess. His time with the Lions, the comfortability with Ben Johnson. And it seems like all parties are confident that, frankly, his poor season last year in Los Angeles is just going to be a blip on his radar, a one-year fluky year.
What about Thuney? Thuney comes with a lot of hardware. He comes with a lot of fanfare. A little older, but he comes with a resume. When he talks, you better listen, because not a lot of people who've played in the NFL, in the history of the NFL, have more Super Bowl rings than him. Not a lot at all.
Yeah.
What about him at a guard spot?
Like Grady Jarrett, just a player that fits everything the Bears needed in free agent acquisitions. I mean, all pro caliber left guard. We talked about him playing out of position in a pinch last season for the Chiefs at left tackle. But when he's playing left guard, I mean, he is awfully good. It seems like the team, again, is confident that he's still got some tread left on his tires. He is an older guy. But again, that championship mentality. This is a guy who is not, I don't get the sense just from talking to him and talking with others who knew him. I don't get the sense that he's going to be the rah-rah guy that Grady Jarrett is. That's not really his style. But he's a guy that can also be an invaluable resource for young players like Braxton Jones, like Darnell Wright. I'll throw Drew Dahlman and I'll throw JonahJackson in there as well, because they're still young players.
Yeah.
Where he can show them, this is what it takes to win 4 Super Bowls. This is how we did things at the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is how we did things at the New England Patriots, two of the best franchises in the last 2 decades of NFL history, right? Almost 3 decades now.
Yeah, 25 years, yeah.
25 years essentially, right? So again, on the field, it was a rotating cast of characters at left guard because of injuries, what have you. If he can stay healthy and if he can stay there, and again, he's been a durable dude. He plays at a very high level at left guard. That is so important, helping that pressure up the middle, as you were just talking about. And then again, he brings the off the field, just the know-how, just being a resource for those young guys, being a lead by example guy, right? If Grady Jarrett is going to be the vocal dude, then he'll be the lead by example guy. And he can be honestly probably a rock for those young dudes in that offensive line room.
Do you see an extension coming for him? Because he's heading up to the last year of his contract, maybe like a 2-year deal, because you talk about him being, and the Bears have talked about him being, exemplary and all the attributes and positive things that they had to say for him, but then to not give him an extension, wouldn't that ring a little hollow? And I'm looking at not 5 years, 7 years, just give him another 2-year deal, front load the, first year and that third year, his second to last year, draft someone to sit behind and like you learn from this stud.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would have been like more clear, like, yes, of course, obviously. And I do think, these two sides do want to come together to a deal, but we said the same things last year about Keenan Allen. When they traded for Keenan Allen, I was like, well, an extension is probably coming because why would you trade for this guy and only have him around for 1 year? Obviously, that extension never came. And I don't think anybody expects Keenan Allen to be back. Right. Keenan Allen, who was dealing with a foot thing all season. And, it's not like Keenan Allen played poorly. He didn't, but it just doesn't seem like, for whatever reason, that relationship is going to continue. So again, in a vacuum on the surface, I would say, an extension makes sense. But given what happened last year in an extremely similar situation, it might be, hey, we'll see what the Bears do in this draft. Do they go get a Will Campbell? And once they get Will Campbell in the building, maybe they say he's our left guard of the future. And if he's our left guard of the future, maybe they try him at tackle, try him at left guard. I'm being super duper speculative. I'm going extremely hypothetical right now. I'm going extremely hypothetical. But, I'm saying like there are scenarios in which you could say, based on how the draft plays out, based on anything plays out, where an extension might get kicked down the road. And again, just based on what happened last year with Keenan Allen, that's the only thing that dings for me a little bit that, hey, this is an extremely similar thing that happened last year and an extension never came.
I'm excited. I'm really excited about what they've done. Let's look at the draft. What do you think would be best for them in your opinion at number 10? O-line, D-line, skill guy. Everyone's talking Ashton Genty. You want to trade back and see what you get. What would you do at number 10 going into the draft?
Well, I think the Bears have done, and Ryan Poles has done, and Ben Johnson, I'll throw the whole squad, the whole front office, have done a really nice job of setting themselves up where they have taken care of a lot of needs.
Oh, yeah.
So I think they really can go best player available. But I would say, they obviously have tiers, right? And I forget the exact colors, but let's say their top tier is their blue chip and their next tier is their red and et cetera, gold, et cetera, et cetera. If there's one blue chip guy left that they have and he's there at 10, you take him. And if that is Will Campbell, great. If it is Mike Green, great. If whoever it is, if it's a defensive lineman, if it's an offensive lineman, if it's Ashton Genty, if it's Tyler Warren, go get the guy that you have the super premium grade on. But just reading and listening, it seems like this is a pretty deep class. Like there may not be as many of the home run guys, the Abdul Carters of the world, but it's a pretty deep class. So let's say all your blue guys are off the board and you got a bunch of red left. Then I think the Bears are in a position to trade back because they have addressed the interior of the line. There are some really intriguing tackle prospects. You know, Josh Simmons is a guy who is not getting talked about as a top tackle prospect. He hasn't had the same rise as the Armand Membus of the world, right? But if his medicals check out and look great, maybe you trade back and get a Josh Simmons to come in and compete with Braxton Jones. Or maybe you get, you know, Darius Alexander out of Toledo. Again, I'm just pulling names out of thin air. But these guys
who do that, you can throw those names out because the Bears have put themselves in that spot, which is, again, unfreaking heard of. Like, people wanting to come to play for the Bears.
Right. And then the running back situation, I actually think this is an excellent draft class for running backs. Yeah. Obviously, Ashton Genty gets all the headlines, but Amarian Hampton, I feel like he could be a first-round running back. Trevor Etienne is a guy who really impressed me at the Senior Bowl.
Travis' brother, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Then there's Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. There's Cam Scattaboo, who reminds me a lot of David Montgomery. And, you know, Ben Johnson obviously had David Montgomery score 100 touchdowns a season in Detroit. So that's where I could see, okay, you can push running back down, and there's a lot of great running backs. And I really do believe that the Bears can, since they have Grady Jarrett, since they got in Dio Adangbo, since they got in an entirely new interior of their offensive line, they can really just let the draft come to them. And they don't have to just drill down on left tackle. They don't have to drill down on defensive end.
I agree with you, and I hope they really explore their option and take the best player available, whoever's going to help, like you said, whether it's D-end or O-line or D-line or whatever. What do you think they do at the safety position? Because, you know, we got Jaquan Brisker, who's a stud, but he's got the concussion issue. That's, you know, one. And me personally, I'm afraid for him. All right, you know, one more hit, he could end up being Tua, you know, convulsing and pausing, and, you know, on the field, which is what we don't want. You know, so what do you think? Do you think they address that at all in the draft?
I definitely think they add a piece. You know, they do have some, like Elijah Hicks, I think has grown a lot as that third safety. I believe Jonathan Owens is still on the roster, and he gave them some good snaps when needed, when called upon. And both of those guys are really good special teams contributor as well. So I wouldn't say it's a huge need, just because I think the depth there is actually pretty solid. But it's definitely not low on my list, right? If I had to rank Bears needs, it would probably still be defensive line first, offensive line second, then maybe running back and tight end, and then right there is probably safety. So yeah, no, I do think that they could absolutely add to that mix, because, yeah, I mean, concussions, frankly, are very scary injuries. And you have to make sure that these players, you know, you got to keep them safe. You got to keep them safe. So hopefully Jaquan can stay healthy. He plays violently. This is something I asked Andre Curtis about last year. And I think it was even before this last concussion. It was like 2 concussions ago. I asked Andre Curtis, like, do you have to talk with Jaquan about playing differently, not throwing his body around so violently to try and protect him? And basically they were like, Andre Curtis said, no, I mean, this is what makes Jaquan Brisker special. If I told him to not do that, then he wouldn't be Jaquan Brisker. Right. And that's a fine line. And you kind of got to understand that, right? Like, this is what helped Jaquan make it to the NFL, to be a second-round draft pick. So how do you take away a guy's superpower like that? But I mean, you got to be cognizant that the concussions are racking up, and you're going to need a backup plan. But again, I think the way Elijah Hicks has grown, it gives them a contingency where they can feel good. Hey, Elijah Hicks has played well for us as he has grown and developed. What a great 7th round draft pick Elijah Hicks was.
Yep. Well, let's talk about the 3,000-pound elephant in the room. Now that Caleb has an offensive line, something his previous quarterbacks did not have. He's got wide receivers. They just signed another one, a wide receiver 3 yesterday. Still got Tyler Scott. They still have Colin Johnson. Still have Cole Kmet. How well do you think? I'm not going to ask you to put a number. If you want to give me numbers, cool, because I'm not a big numbers guy. But how well do you think Caleb plays this year? Because this offense is literally tailor-made for him. All right, Ben Johnson told us, I'm going to playbook over and run this shit. No, I'm going to see what his strengths are, which he has a good idea, obviously. But he's going to get in depth more, see what his skills are, what he does well, what he doesn't do very well, and tailor-make this offense to him. How well do you think Caleb plays in an offense that's built specifically for his strengths?
I think he's going to play better. Do I still think there's going to be hiccups and growing pains? I do. So I caution folks who think Caleb Williams is going to throw for, 4,800 yards, 50 touchdowns. I think the interception numbers are still going to be low. The interception numbers are still going to be good because that's a really good part of his game. You might see some more designed runs. Who knows? You might see them take advantage of his mobility, his kind of underrated mobility a little bit more because that's something that excites Ben Johnson. But there are going to be growing pains because it's essentially a second rookie season, right? I mean, he got the rookie stuff out of the way of like learning the routine, learning the work, learning everything that takes the schedule, the sleep, the nutrition, all of that's required to succeed at the NFL level. He got a taste of that, of what it truly takes to succeed in the NFL and be great. But it's going to be learning a new offense. It's going to be learning a new vocab. He's going to be learning even just operating the huddle, right? They spent so much time last season operating the huddle, cadence, play calls. That took a lot. That took a lot of time and a lot of work for Caleb Williams. He's got to start all that over, essentially, right? Because it's all going to be new. It's all going to be new. So I expect bumps. I expect hiccups in OTAs, training camp. It might be ugly. There might still be times when the defense is ahead of the offense, which is just like every single training camp I've ever covered in Chicago Bears history. The defense is always ahead of the offense. Could be another training camp like that, right? But that I still think he'll be better. And last season, there were ups and downs, right? We remember a lot of the downs. We remember a lot of the ups too, I suppose. I guess I shouldn't just assume everybody thinks of the negatives. I think there will be more peaks and valleys, but I think the peaks might be a little bit better and the valleys might not be as low.
I'm looking forward to it. I think he's going to play better. I think he's going to be the demand by Ben Johnson on this kid is what he wants to be a superstar, is what he needs. And I'm looking forward to him really getting comfortable. And I said this before, I'm going to stay present this season, but I'm really looking forward to 2026 when there's no new offense being learned. You have your receivers back, you got your O-line back, you have your defense, everything. I'm really, really giddy about 2026. But I'll be present for 2025 as well because I want to see the growth. Remember how we watched Jonathan Tays and Patrick Kane grow? We saw them, 18 years old, grow. We just didn't jump into the Stanley Cup. Western Conference Finals every year. We saw the growth, and I want to see the growth. But 26 is going to be crazy.
So who's going to be the HOSA? Who's going to be the HOSA that brings it all together for the Cup run? Because they needed a little Marion Hossa on the Chicago Blackhawks. They did.
And that's who we're going to find out. Where is it going to be in 26 or 27? Who's that one free agent that just puts us over the top? And we got him. That's it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to Caleb being comfortable with call. Right there, obviously the myriad of reports about him and Shane Waldron and their relationship, and I'm looking forward because I think Caleb is going to be more amenable to this guy because he's building this for me. This is all me. This whole offense is all about me, and I think Caleb is going to be one of those guys who he's just going to just adapt to, just soak it up like a sponge. What kind did Ryan Poles buy himself time? Because I thought he could have been let go probably should have been let go for his refusal to address the offensive line. Kind of ironic being an former offensive lineman. But how much time did he buy himself with the Ben Johnson hire, the way he attacked free agency and trades and fortifying that offensive line for his franchise quarterback?
Absolutely, he bought himself time, or at least this is how it should be in my mind. I think Ryan Poles has just completely hitched his wagon to Ben Johnson's star and vice versa, right? I mean, these guys are in lockstep, and as long as Ben Johnson is the head coach of the Chicago Bears, I believe Ryan Poles should probably be the GM so that you don't have that fracture point. You don't have that disjointed point. You do have a scenario where the head coach didn't draft the quarterback, so there's like one piece of misalignment, but it sounds like Ben Johnson really likes Caleb Williams, so that might not be a huge issue. But you want to keep that unit together as long as possible. So if Ben Johnson doesn't work out and you fire Ben Johnson after 3 years or whatever, Ryan Poles, I'm sorry, that's just the nature of the biz.
Yeah.
That's simply the nature of the biz. You know, you get 2 quarterbacks, 2 head coaches. It's pretty much how it goes, right? If Ben Johnson succeeds, then obviously the Bears are doing well. And if the Bears are doing well, then obviously you retain Ryan Poles and you say, hey, thanks for getting it right. You did a wonderful job putting this thing together in the end. And that's all that matters. That you know what I mean? So if this works out, phenomenal. Great job, Ryan Poles. You did it and you deserve your flowers. But if it doesn't work out and Ben Johnson is gone, I imagine Ryan Poles will be gone with him. I mean, that's just the nature of the biz. That's just how it probably will shake out.
Give me a far too early assessment of how well you think the Bears will do. Now I'm asking for a number: 6, 8 wins, 10 wins, double-digit wins, 11.
I have no idea. But in the nature of good vibes only, it's going to be 70 degrees. I saw a 7 in front of the high today. So good vibes off the charts. Let's go 10 wins. I said 10 wins last year. Did not happen that way. I'll say 10 wins again because good vibes only.
I'm really likely to agree with you because of the fact that they got a running game, because they addressed this offensive line. We understand. Look at the team that won the Super Bowl. They weren't pass first; they were run first. Look at the team that Ben Johnson just came from. They weren't pass first; they were run first. And I think, which is why I asked you about the running back thing, because now who's going to be paired with DeAndre Swift? I'm still. How are you on Roschon Johnson? Because I'm not sold on him. I'm a big Roschon Johnson fan. Because when all they talk about is your character, what a nice guy you are, and not really how great of a running back you are. Yeah, and I from watching him, I just don't see him as the explosive guy. But what's your thought on Roschon Johnson?
I'm interested to see what Ben Johnson can get out of him, because I do think there is a good football player in there, and I think when used in certain scenarios, 3rd and 2s near the goal line, I'm kind of interested to see if Ben Johnson can get more out of him than the Bears have the past 2 seasons. Also, remember, he was also a guy who was banged up in and out of the lineup a lot last year. So
yeah,
if he can stay healthy consistently, get a full summer, yada, 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 we'll see if he takes a little bump. Yeah, I guess that's where I'm at with Roschon, but I do expect, I think the next running back who joins the team, and here's a little take for you. If the Bears draft a running back, like that's the guy who I'm going to be looking at as the number 1 running back for the Chicago Bears in 2026. DeAndre Swift is not going anywhere this year, right? Based on the contract.
Right.
But I do think that there could be like a changing of the guard at running back over the coming years, whether that is adding the new 1B or even like very potentially a new 1A.
Okay. Good stuff. Dude, Alex, awesome stuff, man. I appreciate it. Do me a favor, though, before you go, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online and when you're on TV, too.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chicago Sports Network is where you find us. Download our app. We have tons of great content on there. You can also listen to me, watch me on the Charter podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, our YouTube channel. If you want to watch us in person, that's with our host, Ruthie Polinsky and Clay Harbor. Clay is so great. Ruthie is so amazing. We have so much fun together, the three of us. So yeah, Chicago Sports Network. Check it out. Our podcasts are on TV from time to time. Pro Football Show. Get all your great Bears news. And of course, Chicago Sports Network app. It's great. CHSN app.
Dude, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shawn, for having me. You have a great one, man.
All right, we'll talk soon. Guys, that's Alex Shapiro from Chicago Sports Network. Man, great stuff as always. Very happy. He gave us some of his time this morning to talk Bears with us. I'm fired up. I can't tell you enough. I'm fired up about this season. And again, stay present. Remember, I said I'm super stoked about 26. I'm staying present. All right, let's stay focused in the free agency. All right, do we have any other free agents that we signed? Do we do anything like that? Do we get anyone else? Okay, then we work on OTAs. Let's get excited. You know, not overly excited, but just excited. Okay, get them on the grass, get them working. Excuse me. Okay, and then the draft. Well, the draft's coming up first, so the draft. See who we get. You know, we can argue, and do me a favor. Let's not be those jamokes that I'm tired of on social media. Because someone disagrees with you, then they're a fucking clown. All right? Stop the nonsense. I hate that shit. People call me names all the time. People calling other people names. You're an idiot. You're a clown. You don't know football. And I'm like, what level of football did you play? High school, maybe? But you have the audacity to say, just call people names. Like, we can agree to disagree. All right, let's work on it. Let's talk, say who we are. We all have our own opinions. But that type of stuff is just annoying because the level of football that most people have played who want to call people clowns. Like, come on, man. It just bothers them. Just, agree, disagree. Like, all right, cool. That's your opinion. It's cool. It's frustrating. That's why, just don't be that dude. All right, you can be right, you can be wrong. Just don't be that dude or that chick. Don't be that woman. Cornelius says, Shawn, I agree. Roschon will not make the cut this year. Never was a Rojo fan. Yeah, and this is why. Exactly why. All you heard was his character. Such a great man. Such a great young man. Such a great young man. Such a great young man. And I'm like, okay, but is he a great football player? I don't give a shit if you're a great man if you can't play football. Why'd you draft him? Because he's a great man? Well, that's not a good reason to draft him. Plank, I agree, Shawn. Too much negativity. Stop it, Chris. Stop it. That social media nowadays is hated too, but it is what it is. I hear you. I'm just saying we don't got to be that. You know what I mean? We don't have to be that because they're going to be jamokes who do stuff. They're going to be jamokes and just say stuff. And I'm just like, I try and insult them without them knowing. In an educated way. Like, I'm not going to call you a clown. I'm going to say your lack of football intelligence is apparent. Stop it. No one said anything. No, not this time. No. No, it was another thing. I'm like, come on, man. You guys are, I forgot what the dude's name was. He was going back and forth. Like, you're a clown if you think that. Like, really? Okay. We can't disagree to disagree. We both want them. You must hate Bear fans. Why? Because I see things differently than you. I hate Bear fans. I'm like, okay, buddy. Like, if you even knew, like, my key rings over. I got everything on my. Like, I'm the biggest Bear fan you know. I don't hate Bear fans. I love the Bears. My wallet is a Bear fan. My wallet is a ridge with the Chicago Bears logo on. After commercial, I'll you know what, next on Monday I'll have it here because it's over by on the table. You come in and I drop my keys and my wallet on there. I'll show you. Everything's Bears. My keychain is the Bears. I got Bears sandals. I have Bears pajama bottoms. Two pairs of them. Why do I not like the Bears or Bears fans? Like, stop. You don't even know. But I digress. I'm anxious. Like Diamond says, Shawn, just imagine if we win it all multiple times, those people are going to be disgustingly arrogant. Yes. I know because, remember, I went to school in Massachusetts well before the Patriots started their dynasty. Let me tell you, my friends from college were the most arrogant, obnoxious sons of bitches when it came to football. They're like, yeah, we'll probably win 12, 13 games this year. If we don't, I'll be pissed. If we don't get to the AFC Championship game, I'll be pissed. It's crazy. Chris says, I think people are expecting too much from Roschon Johnson. If you're expecting him to be a lead back, you're doing too much. He's a good pass blocker, catch the ball and get hard, tough yards with a goal. With the GD line? Why are you gangbanging, bro? What the hell? Team Booker World, you're a damn fool. I have a Bears ashtray and I don't even smoke. You're a damn fool. Oh my goodness. Dude, I think that just made my day. Bears ashtray and I don't even smoke. Oh my goodness. It's why I love you guys. You talk about, I was having a good day. I was having a real good day. You just made my day even better. Oh my goodness. So I'm thinking about the running backs. Like, who do they get? Do you waste? I don't know. Words are a powerful tool. Do you use a second round pick? Maybe the number 41 on a running back. Or do you wait for the third round? Do you think there'll be a running back in the third round? You know what I mean? What do you do? Because how bad do you want a stud running game? Because they just showed you. It was just shown to you. They told you you don't need a generational quarterback to win a Super Bowl. You need a good offensive, good defensive line, good running game, and a quarterback who can make you pay when it's his time to make you pay. Caleb's not at that point yet, but Caleb will be that dude soon. He'll be the dude to make you pay when it's time to make you pay. So who's going to be the other half? Are you going to want to go up and get your stud running back? Like, there's not going to be there's definitely not a Saquon Barkley in this draft. But maybe with the guy you draft along with DeAndre Swift, that combination could really be as productive as a Saquon Barkley. So now the run game is paramount. Run game is the one thing. And how dope would that be? How dope would that be when the first thing that you have to do, is not stop Caleb Williams. When you go into an offensive game plan, you're like, number one priority is not stopping Caleb Williams, it's stopping the run. How much more effective will Caleb Williams be when he's not the number one guy you have to stop, or the number one aspect of the offense that you have to stop? How much more dangerous will he be? This is what we want. This is why I give Ryan Poles mad credit. When you have a quarterback as talented as Caleb Williams, not be the first thing you have to stop when you face our offense, man, you got a good spot. You have a very good situation. And I think Ryan Poles figured that out. I really do. Because I'll tell you what, I am more than happy to rush the ball 30 times a game, 30 plus times a game. Like I've been telling you for the last, freaking 5 years, 7 years? Run the goddamn ball. How successful were we when we ran the ball 30 times? You want to see offensive linemen get excited, get chubbies all over the place? Tell them, hey, we're going in the game and running the ball 30 plus times. You see a whole bunch of offensive fat guys fat linemen getting excited, like, woo. Hair on their arm stands up. We're running 30 times this week, 30 plus. So now you've gotten to this point. So now, and that could be, remember when Alex asked, who's that Marion Hossa? Remember when the Blackhawks got a Marion Hossa after their draftees, the draft picks developed? Who's the Marion Hossa for the Bears? It could be a stud running back. Saquon Barkley was for Philly. And maybe that's what we do. Maybe in 26 or maybe in 27, there's a stud running back and our running game is good, but we take it to another level. Maybe that's when it happens. All right? Because we've just had proof of it happening. We just had proof of a stud running back, a stud, arguably the best running back in the game, arguably. Put up arguments for other people, but arguably the best running back in the game, going to the team with the best offensive line in the game. And look what they do. Super Bowl, first time. So as our offensive line gels together, if the running game is not feared, maybe you make that move. Maybe that's your next big free agent move in 2026 or 2027. And who's the running back going to be at that point? I don't know. But that could be the move. Or maybe the guy you draft turns into the stud, that dude. Maybe Omarion Hampton turns into that dude. Maybe Caleb Johnson turns into that dude. Maybe Quinshon Judkins is that dude. Maybe Travion Henderson is that dude. Maybe kid out of Central Florida. I just lost his name. Hardy, I want to say. The one thing I want a running back that is well-rounded. Like you give me a Marshall Faulk type running back. A guy who runs between the tackles. A guy, if he gets on the outside, he gone. A guy who pass pro like a Mother Hubbard. Stonewalls blitzing linebackers. Come out of the backfield. Give me those guys. Why are there not more running backs in college like that? That's what I patterned my game after. R.J. Harvey. Thank you, Mondo. R.J. Harvey, the kid out of Central Florida. That's what I patterned my game after. Were those guys. So Walter Payton, Roger Craig, and Marshall Faulk and I are around the same age. He was at San Diego State when I was at Holy Cross. But those are the guys. That's what I want my game. I do everything. Why are there not more running backs who are well-rounded? I don't get it. Because the thing about it is, like, you stay on the field longer. They don't have to take you off on third downs. It just boggles my mind. So maybe the guy we draft is that stud. But I really want us to be run first. See, if you remember the for those of us who remember, the 85 Bears, the Bears would run first with Walter Payton. But don't get it twisted. Jim McMahon broke all kinds of passing records at BYU. If they would have thrown the ball, they could have thrown the ball all over the field if they wanted, because they had the quarterback. People they don't give Jim McMahon credit for being a freaking amazing quarterback, a passing quarterback. He broke all kinds of records in college. But he came to the Bears and they said, we just need you to throw a couple times. And again, I'd be more than okay with that with Caleb. All right, I'm not worried about his 4,000 yards like many people are. I'm worried about him leading this team to victory. Again and again and again. Week in, week out. Week in, week out. Some days he's going to have 300 yards. Some days he's going to have 150. Some days he's going to hit 400. Some days he's going to hit 210. I don't care. All I care about is the dub. And the best way to do that, you run the ball, control the clock, you got a stud running back, stud offensive line, stud defensive line to pressure the quarterback, get us the ball back so we can run the ball down your throat, eat clock. King Book of World, truer words were never spoken. I don't give a rat's ass about 4,000 yards. How many times did Dan Marino throw for 4,000 yards? How many Super Bowl rings does he have? Don't get me wrong, I think he's going to hit it, Caleb, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not. That's my main focus, to say, oh, whew, finally we got a 4,000-yard passer. No, finally we won a fucking Super Bowl in the last 30 years. There are kids and grandkids born who haven't seen a Bears Super Bowl victory. That's what I'm worried about. Not 4,000 yards. Couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. Oh, man, listen. 2 hours is coming and gone. I want to thank my guest, Alex Shapiro from Chicago Sportsnet, for coming out talking Bears football with me. I want to thank you guys. This was one hell of a chat today. Black Diamonds, I was 5. It was 85, so 86. I was 14. I was a freshman. Yep. Yep. But King Book of World says, my kids haven't experienced the Bears being good anytime. Yeah, that's a shame, and that's got to change. Mondo, you said you haven't seen one. Yep. Yeah. Well, I want to thank those guys for coming in, checking in, or Alex Shapiro for checking in from Chicago Sportsnet, staying on with us, giving his thoughts. Great stuff, as always. I appreciate it. And everyone here, I want you guys to have a phenomenal weekend. It's going to be 70 degrees, around 70 today. Enjoy it. If you're going to the Mary J. Blige concert tonight, have a good time. If you're doing anything fun with family, friends, and loved ones, have fun. Be safe. Do yourself a favor. Let your loved ones know you love them. All right, you guys reminded me. I got to call and reach out to my guy Manny. Okay, just reach out to him, see how he's doing. I haven't talked to him in a while. All right, I don't just talk about it. I be about it. All right, let your loved ones know you love them, because tomorrow is promised to no one. All right, listen. I am going to. This will be rebroadcast at 6 tonight. Tonight, Friday, 12:15. Lakina and Sid at Second City Sports are going to come and take you on another 2-hour tour of Chicago sports, and the Smoke Fellas tomorrow at 11. All right. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, give a phenomenal weekend. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. One more time before I go. All right. I just want to say happy birthday to my niece, Monica Lara. All right. 22 years old. Happy birthday, Ma. Have a phenomenal day. I'll set a time. We'll go grab a bite. Me, you, and Jeremiah. All right. Love you, sweetheart. We'll talk soon. I'll see you soon. All right. Again, everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. I'm out.